I'm not very good at this. You got way more videos than I do. You've been playing a lot longer than I have. I've been doing this for about 8 years, but um, I just thought I'd give you a little bit of demonstration as far as beat goes. I don't think you need any help with reading sheet music or playing songs by sheet music, but just some things that I do to help me out, and a couple of things that I've learned along the way from folks on rhythm, and if I can help in any way. Um, I've been working on a little thing from Jason Zach on the Truceo, Latin rhythm, and there's various. There's a slow Truceo and a fast Truceo. Um, I I got interested in this because in his lessons, how he was showing the various strike points on the end of the of different things, or like you strike on the first the end of the second and the four. So I try to demonstrate what I've been working on. If it helps you out, fine. If not, well, I got a chance to play with my phone for a video. Anyways, it's pretty simple. Um, anyway, I just started out with you actually had that pattern written down. That was the low, middle, high, middle. So that's the basic. That's the basic pattern. I can send you a link to the video if you're interested. Um, anyways, so it just starts out doing this. And then we'll bring in the left hand. And that's just solid octave. And then we'll start pulsing. And I'm just pulsing the thumb, the octave. Can't talk and play at the same time. I'm still pulsing my octave, and I'm pulsing my middle finger, and which would be the middle and the high on the center. So, and emphasizing dynamics a little bit. Lose my track. Let's go back. So then you can bring in the slow Truceo. So I'm going to, he calls it syncopation, syncopated rhythm. So I'm still keeping the same pattern, but I'm going to switch from the pulse. I'm going to do a straight key. So both hands together. Then I'm going to do my thumb to a pulse, both hands together. So I'm counting, basically in my head I'm counting 1, so this is 1, 2, and 3, or I'm sorry, 4, and then we go back and do it again. So it's just getting used to that Truceo pulse. Again, it's your thumb involvement in doing the octave. go to the fast tresillo. I know I'm going to screw this up. And that's basically, again, I'm pulsing. I'm hitting a solid note on the B, and then I hit the octave. So it's a rocking back and forth. So I'm going from the B to the B. And then here I'm playing that faster tresillo pulse here. Here we go. So I'll do that one more time. And now, this doesn't go along with the tresillo, but you might recognize this. I don't know if you will or not again. Let's see if I can do it here. How's that go? Here we go. Darn it. Accuracy on my notes. It's Fine Young Cannibals, I think, is the group that did that. That was their start to it. What is it? Something thing. It's just little things that help to try to get the rhythm going in your head. If you can sit there and I can bounce my head to that, all right? So I'm bouncing my head, and that's what gets the audience going. But little things, and where this kind of started out, I was searching around because I was having a real problem with my hand coordination, and there was a young man that started me off on. Let's see, it's just using the C chord, and it's your first and your fifth, or root in your fifth. And so all you're doing is you're sitting there and pulsing. Then you go to the F. Then you go to the A. And then to the G. And then back. And that's the left hand. Just to pulse. All you're doing is pulsing that fifth. Just to get used to, and if you can, if you need to put it into accounting, you can do that too. But I play a lot by ear. What sounds to be, or I have a drum track here. This keyboard up here is an arranger, so I've got thousands of backup drum sets and everything else, and I use it sometimes. But I just like to hear the piano. So for the most part, I've got my rhythms in my head. On my keyboard here, I got a little light going here, and I think I got it set to 120. And it's about where I like to play my stuff at. But anyways, now on the right hand, on that, you do, and you could do this in any key or do it in all the keys if you wanted to, but you're basically the first three notes like you normally would, and then you trill the last two notes. So it's, and you come back. And I know you can do trills because I've seen them in your songs and stuff, and you have a real good command of your left hand patterns and stuff. I noticed you do one in there. The newer guy I started watching, he calls it the Wonder Wave. Um, anyways, so how this goes, um, I'll do it here. I think I've explained it so you can get it. And the idea here is to keep that beat without changing it when you hit that trill, because we have a tendency to, I'm going fast there, so I'm going to go fast in the left hand. So it takes a little bit first time's drill, but again, it's just a run. So there's a quick change between the A and the G on that trill. So you can hear it again. Switch to the F, then to the A, and then G. I hope that gives you an idea of just, and it's little shorts that you can, okay, I've done all my stuff, I've practiced, now I'm just going to try to freeform it and get my rhythm going, and there's things you can do to build that. Something I like to do, when I first learned that, and I picked up some other chords, let's see if I can do this without blowing it. And again, all these are coming from memory. I don't have any sheet music up. I do, but not for this. Um, ah, that's one of them. Um, there, I don't know. You joined. I think you joined Piano Note in 21. That would have been about 4 years ago. I think it's. I've been with them about 6 now. I think 7. I got in about a month after Jordan Lydell took over or opened it up, and then shortly after that, Lisa joined them, and then it just started to bloom and expand from there. But Jordan did a piece that's in the archives. Um, it was his favorite progression, and it started you out just getting the chords, and then you build from that. Um, he would teach you the chords in the left hand and the right hand, and then he would teach you, and those were the full root chords, and then he would teach you how to do the inversions of those chords in the right hand. And then once you got the inversions under your fingers and started to bring in the left hand, um, he would show, at least in his video, he showed towards the end of it, he showed all the different things that you can do. I've shown this video. I've got one on my website. I think I did for somebody else, but it really helped me as far as taking a set of chords and a progression and learning how to do the inversions. So I'll give it a shot here. I like to start down low. go. Um, I got lots of little things that I could probably show you that I do to build my chord stuff. I'm working on a new one here with Jason Zach. It's for building eighth note pass, 16th notes, and it's just learning the little ditty that goes with it. It's like learning one of his little riffs, but it goes something like this. And so that's the whole thing in a nutshell. And then on the left hand, it's just your eighth notes playing the chords. So we go something like this. And what's cool about it is it just perfectly fits into your 1E and a. So 1E and a, 2E and a, 3E and a, 4E and that's the whole thing right there, one complete set. So, but I'm working on that. I'm trying to build up my ability to do 16th notes in the right hand and left hand, and then I don't know if you've seen. I sent that link to you on the Piano Revolution guy, new guy that's on been out for probably a month or so, a couple months. He does one on building your left hand patterns using 16th notes, and he uses Canon D to do that with. And that's kind of an interesting. I haven't really gotten into that yet. I've got my patterns up. I got warm ups and things that I do for my left hand, but you see, and the ones I've watched, at least playing your sheet music, you've got those patterns in already in that sheet music. So in some of your music, and it looks like you have a really good command of your chords. So it shouldn't. I'd say shouldn't. I just little things at a time and challenge yourself. When you're done doing all your normal routines, and I know you're building your video thing, memoriam for your cat, your friend. When you get done doing that, just take not even maybe 5 or 10 minutes a day if you can spare it out of your practice, and then just try something new. Allow yourself to make mistakes. You're gonna mess it up, and just let yourself do that and continue on. I do that all the time. I'll sit there and, well, let's see how fast I can get this thing, and then my fingers are just going all over the place and messing it up. But each time I do that, the next time I don't miss as many keys, and maybe 2 or 3 times later I got all the keys. That little rhythm here, that took me probably a week to get down to where I had it committed to memory, and I still mess it up, but it's getting better all the time. And it took probably another week or so before I could put the chords together with that. But the biggest, I'll tell you, the biggest help to me has been working on the Latin music with the Tresillo, because it just, between like the slow Tresillo and a fast Tresillo, it changes up where that emphasis or hit point is, and trying to put the two together has been a real challenge. It took me a while, but I finally get to where I can, during my practice, I can just play with that. But the little things that along the way that helped get the rhythm down, and a lot of it was just doing that root fifth and tapping it to different stuff, and then you can just sit there and build your own stuff. If the biggest thing, I think personally, to learn, if you can, is the pentatonic scales. There's just so much that you can do whenever you're doing stuff. So if I was to do like, what is it? Let's see. This is the G pentatonic scale. Yeah, the G pentatonic scale. So you'd have G, A, B, skip C, and then it's D and E. So just those 5 keys, but you got those 5 keys up and down the keyboard. So if you're practicing this, you can come in with that pentatonic scale. It doesn't matter what key you hit, it's going to sound okay. Name your own pattern and you got it. And it's just, I'll take 5 minutes out of my practice and I'll just sit there and let's see, what can I do? Maybe I can do an E and a D, E and a D. I'll hit the G. I'll come back, do the E and the D, and I'll hit the B. So none of that sounds bad. And so you got that whole pattern. You could go E, D, let's see, E, D, E, G, E, G, A, G, A, B, and then come back down. And just watching your videos, that shouldn't be a problem with your hand coordination of just noodling on the rhythm aspect, and just even if you're playing one chord. Jason Zach has a thing. I'm sure you've seen. Lisa did a video on how do you pronounce it? Emily. Let's see. Let's see. Get the. Yeah. So in that, it's just he's not in the lesson he does on Emily. It's not on Emily. I forget what it's called. It's on improvisation, and all he's using is the chords. He's using the individual notes from each chord that's played here. So if you're doing this, so you got your E, B, and the G. So each one of those, if I hit, and I can do octaves. I have a hard time. I got small hands for that spread. I have a hard time not hitting the adjacent. That type of thing. Just noodling. I'm not making any sense. I'm just noodling, and just trying to build that consciousness of rhythm and dynamics. Where can I, if I'm playing at this tempo, and I hit what? Let's see. If I hit this, I can hit it hard, double hit it, or triple, and keeping this at a light pace. So it's all that combined. Anyway, I've probably gone on and on too long. Anyways, one more thing I wanted to bring in that Jason, if I don't know how many of your videos of his videos you watched. I've been following him about the same time I joined Piano Night. I got started on some of his courses, and when we very first started out, he recommended a bongo. And so his idea was, this is your left hand. And that's your beat. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and so forth. And if you could work the beat out here, then you do the same thing. Whatever you did here, so if you did this, what you do is you put that away and you go to the keyboard. Now, once you got it down to your thing, and that type of thing. And that's how I first got started with it. And he also likes these guys real well, the shaker. So you can use this to do your beat, or 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That type of thing. And this guy probably helped me more than anything. Just a cheap, I don't think it paid very much for it, $25 or something for it, off of Amazon. And just a constant beat. It does the up on your shoulder or on your leg type of thing. And I, especially on the course I'm still taking, that one on the Truceo, he really emphasized getting the beat down with the shaker first. When you can get that, play your right hand and do that beat with the shaker, and then bring it to the keyboard. And that's probably helped me more than anything. It's awkward, I'll tell you that right off the bat. It's just, sometimes I'd like to take this thing and throw it as far as I can, but it's helped me a lot. I don't know, I got kind of carried away. He puts a shaker on his foot, and he'll use that to keep his pulse, like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then bring this guy in 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and that's how he starts a lot of his stuff. If you go back, he's got one just recently. Now he's got a new one out doing 8th notes and 16th notes, and he just does some crazy stuff. I'm not cutting piano note down. I love piano note. I started with them at the very beginning, and it just grown into a huge conglomerate now, and there's a lot of good stuff on there. But just my emphasis on this video was, if I can help you with that improv, getting your beat type thing, if this helps you, fine. That thing with Joseph Sikora, just tapping your legs and then bringing in, okay, I'm going to tap on all of the ands. I'll tap on the and and the 4. And that type of thing. It all helps. It all helps. And it all goes along with your thing that you originally started, was posting that video on the mind thing. The more I recall, or the more I play something, it gets a little bit better. But when I move on to other songs, and play, and then out of the blue, maybe a couple of days from now, I'll try to do that Truceo, just pure memory. I got some notes on it here somewhere, but the more I do by memory, and the more recall when I call it back up, the better it seems to be. I follow a young lady, well, not young, a lady by the name of Michelle McLaughlin. She has a couple of hundred, well, not a couple of hundred. She's got quite a number of CDs out, and I just love her music. All of her sheet music is available on her website, and I have all of her sheet music, and I've got all of her CDs. Kind of a fanatic, I guess. And her songs are getting progressively harder now. I've got one, I've completely got it down. I got another one that I'm about halfway through. There's one little section that I keep going back to. That's causing me a little bit of difficulty. I'll get it eventually, um, but I'm I've got a song that I'm infatuated with. Um, it's called Restless, and it's by a Jason how do you Sist, I think he pronounces his last name. Um, he was a student working on his doctorate degree in music, uh, and he does a song that's on a lot on the internet called Redemption. Quite a long song, very pretty. Um, but this Restless is actually a Latin variation, and at that time that he was doing the sheet music for it, um, uh, he never got to it. His wife gave birth to a set of twins, and either one or both of them was born with deficiencies, and it just destroyed him. He went off. His stuff is still available on the internet, but there's no activity. He's not talking to anybody. You try to send an email, he doesn't answer. And that was, shoot, that's been 6, 7 years ago. So there's no sheet music. I've had to go through. I'm mostly picking it up by ear, but it's it gets really. It starts out slow. Let me get a little bit of it here. And just keep starting over and doing a different pattern in the right hand as well as the left hand. He goes to octaves, and then he goes to a 1-3 a root, and it's intermittent. He does a 1-3 root, then a root octave, then back to a 1-3 root, and then a root octave. And then the next pass he goes in, he does an arpeggio, a full arpeggio in the left hand. And it's a little tiny bit muddy when you get down to the low end, but then the right hand just goes crazy. And that's about the stage I'm at, trying to weed through that stuff. Anyways, been long enough. Hope this helped. You have a good one, and talk to you later. Bye. Yeah.